decided that we design the solution that suits us. And that solution is that everything we do, since they make our country and our land very uncomfortable for us, we will bring our freedom from diaspora. And that's what we're doing today. So the enabling environment that was not created for us in Biafra land, the different countries where we reside have created an environment, and we are struggling to bring this kind of system back to our people for them to live like human beings. So we will always outsmart the terrorist state of Nigeria.
Only one, under his leadership, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Anybody that is confusing anyone or telling you there is another, no, there is nothing. There's just one, recognized by His Excellency Simon Ekpa. And we can pray. Once he has that communication, Biafrans, we understand that Obato Obie does not take no crap from nobody. No matter who you are, you must respect that authority. That authority is the only thing that can protect all of us. But we thank God, somebody said this is a transition period. If these things does not happen, Biafrans will not know who is following our prime minister, who wants him to fail, who wants him to be out. So this moment is ordained to happen so that Biafrans will know who is who.
Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this amazing program. Thank you so much for joining us once again on this platform. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. Please like and share this program. And remember, this platform where you are watching this program is Biafra Exodus Hard Talk TV, a platform that stands with the United States of Biafra, under the command of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, under the control of Deputy Prime Minister COS Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, we bring information from the right source, the United States of Biafra, the government of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. Wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama to like and share. Information is power. Remember, our Prime Minister encouraged us to engage in radical evangelism. Our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us to carry everybody along. In doing that, you must help us to share this video. Like and share to family and friends and to every platform where you belong. This information is important.
Nnamdi Kanu's case, the Counsel for the Federal Government, Adegboyega Awumolo, SAN, told the court that he had earlier filed an ex parte application for the witness to testify behind screens due to the nature of the case and for security reasons, which was granted by the court as there was no objection from Kanu's lawyers. As the government formally opened its case against Kanu, its witness who testified behind the screen told the court that on 14th October 2015, he was assigned with some team members to arrest Kanu at the Golden Tulip Hotel in Lagos. According to the witness, whom the court tagged PWAAA, when they got to the Golden Tulip, the reception showed them the guest manifest of several months and noticed that Kanu's name was not there. They, however, got an order to conduct a room-to-room search of the hotel, which produced Kanu in room 303 with a young lady. The witness noticed that Kanu initially resisted arrest and was in an apartment that looked like a broadcasting studio. He was then taken to the DSS command in Lagos, where the items from his room were listed. The witness went on to read a statement made by Kanu on the same day of his arrest, where the IPOB leader said he set up Radio Biafra because he believes in freedom of speech and that the UN Charter of People's Rights guarantees the right to self-determination. In the same statement, Kanu also noted that he was questioned without his lawyer or any legal representation, so he answered the questions asked him in the best way he could. After giving his evidence in chief, the trial judge, Justice James Obotosho, adjourned to May 2nd for cross-examination.
The matter is very simple. The state has a case against our client, and we are defending him. And for the first time, the matter has been opened, and we have heard what the evidence is. On Friday, we are coming back to cross-examine him. But in the main, the matter has commenced on a good note, very sound note, very civilized trial. And we hope by the grace of God we'll continue on this note and get to the end.
Well, it's quite unfortunate that we have not woken up to understand that you cannot just arrest people because they have equipments on them. When the interview was going on, the leader of IPOB was mentioning in that particular interview that he was just broadcasting, telling the world about what the British government is doing. And there's nothing wrong with him telling the world that we deserve our rights and we deserve what is in London over here, to be treated fairly, to have what they have. Whatever they enjoy, we need to enjoy it in this country.
For the first time in about 10 years, Nnamdi Kanu's case has made headways. The federal government called its first witness today, and they say they have about 5 more witnesses to call. For a matter that has been granted accelerated hearing, Nigerians are eager to know what will be the outcome of this case. Chibuzo Okezie, AIT News, Abuja.
Mazi Tony Bata, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ga-awụchi n'ụlọ ikpe tata. Kedu ka isi fu ya bụ atụmatụ? Ọ ga-abịakwa echi. Ga-agakwa nwanne echi. Ọ bụrụ na ị na-anya ya bụ ikpe dịka ọ na-agbanwezi na ụzọ dị iche iche. Ị na-atụ anya na dịka ya bụ ikpe eyigharịchagoro ya ụbọchị ole na n'isi njedebe ya bụ ikpe na ikpeazụ na a ga-asị Maazị Nnamdi Kanu imeriela ya bụ ihe. Gbagara na ya bụ mkpuchi oge niile egburu gị, gbagara na afọ niile atara gị, ngwa werekwa ihe dị otu a wee tie onwe gị aka n'obi.
A marala na Maazị Nnamdi Kanu onwe ihe o mere, adịla m mbọ kwuo ya mgbe ebido ga memere arrest ọrụ si ndị APC chọrọ iji azụ ụtọ and watch akpa the court shagaji na gamu that onweghị federal gọọmenti ichi ịhụrụ ajụ ya jụrụ their weakness ịhụrụ dis achị ahụ gị ahụ that onweghị ha chehụ and achọrọ iji ya play politics ijele maka ime obi ndị Igbo mana ana m agba ndị Igbo ọwụla chi onye ọwụla ekwadokwala APC because ọwụhụ elighara Nnamdi Kanu ya mere anyị ga-ije selu our birthright ihe Nnamdi Kanu kwuga ha anyị niile kwugawo ihe ruru anyị eji m ekwu ya kwuchie ike na onye bịara ngage nọgide ike gbu ya sha ya lamala gafụ ya ị ga-ikwu ọbịara nga onye begburu ya lamakwara mkpụkpụ asola ya so ịbịagide anyị sanya gị lanị n'ihi na ndị Igbo wu osisi na-amị ego ochi na-ebezu mbọ ndị ọzọ onye ọla nọrọ kala anyị mejuo onwe anyị ebe icha ndị Igbo arị mma echenu onye ọla nọrọ n'uchime onwe ya anyị mara kpa anyị ga-echaga obodo a mana Nnamdi Kanu a ga-eli ya na mgbe na-atụghị anya.
Ọ bụrụ na ile anya Justice Omotosho tinyere ya bụ ikpe n'abalị 29 nke ọnwa Eprel, abalị 2 nke ọnwa Mee, n'ụbọchị taa bụ abalị 6 nke ọnwa Mee, ụbọchị echi abalị 7 nke ọnwa Mee, Tọzdee abalị 8 nke ọnwa Mee ka ọ kwuchigodoro ugbu a. Ọ dị ka na ya bụ ụbọchị ikpeazụ ka anyị nụgodoro ugbu a o tinyere bụ abalị 8 nke ọnwa Mee n'ụbọchị Tọzdee na ihe abụọ otu ga-eme n'ụbọchị ahụ.
Oge merela a ga-eli ya iwe ochie ihe gagane gamara na federal gọọmenti ahụla that onwe anything agahụ so agbala ahụ ndị na judiciary na gbamgbo osimome ka emekwa ma na-arụ ọrụ judiciary ikpegaghị imegaghị ọ judiciary Supreme Court nyere ọdachi n'ụha nwa amadi onwe ha ehu mere ka emegahụ na ọma ịkọla nwaka ihe ekpobiri ekpobi before gabịa ugbu cha gị marị ga ọwụ iji ome nke mmara a ga-akpọgharịla ya.
Ọ dị ka ya bụ dịka onye akaebe DSS siri pụta ma kwuo na enweghị ihe na-enwere ike ise ahụrụ n'akpa ya ọ bụkwa ihe ndị a na onweghị ihe ọ dịghị ka nke a ga-eme ya bụ okwu bie nkenke mana dịka na asị na enwere anwa bụ ihe dịka egbe mma maọbụ ihe dị aṅa n'akpa ya ọ dịghị ka ya bụ okwu kara adị mana dịka onye DSS onye akaebe pụtara ma gbaa na n'oge anyị nyochara akpa ya enweghị ihe a ga-esi anyị ga-eji aka bara uru ahụrụ n'akpa ya ọ bụkwa ihe a na-ahụ n'akpa ndị ọzọ enweghị ihe ọzọ pụrụ iche ọ dịghị ka nke a kwesịrị ime ya bụ okwu ebie nke
ya wụrụ ma kọtụ ihe eji ebi ikpe wụ evidence before the judge ajụọla gị shi enwere ihe nwere ịkọnetere ya terorizm gị shi mba jụọ gị shi mba so gbanụ m ihe ọzọ ekpega ana ihe iwu ikpe mma ndị wu jọji ikpere ikpe kpechi ikpeche nwa amadi onwe ihe anyị hụrụ aka ya emere she mma ndị jupụrụla Jizọs kpọjela Pontius Pilate ya gbama nwochi enyechala nwoke ọkwachi enyola dunye du onwekwa ihe hụrụ nwoke emere nwochi kpogbuo ya ya si nwoku ala emiri ihe menene ya kwa aka mana anyị blem gakwa Pontius Pilate n'ihi na ọ ya wụ onye ọkaikpe kwesịrị isi Jesus will happen ya ya sị mgbakpọrọ na ya ji eme ọ chọrọ igbu ya egbu mana ọ leela anya ọ chọghị ka aka sịkwa na ọnwụnwụ ya nwa n'ihi na Supreme Court ekpeela ikpe mbọ chi hafụrụ nwa amadi High Court ọra appeal agbanwochi a ga-akwụ ya ụgwọ onwe ihe o mere ọ nwụrụ ka federal gọọmenti rụrụ ya na Kenya onwe onye kwuo okwu ka ahụ so eletara ha anya na onwe ya na anyị na-ebido ka iji redeem our image ọhịa mega ahụ make believe
ndị ọkaiwu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu na-atụ anya na dịka usoro ya bụ ụlọikpe si wee dị ọ bụrụ na ndị nke gọọmenti wepụtachara ya bụ ikpe ibiro a sị na ya bụ ikpe ga-aga n'iru ha ga-achọ ka a na ya n'aka ebe ọ dịghị ka ya bụ na n'aka ebe ahụ ga-ekwe omume ọ bụrụ na asị na ikwa ibiro
ọ bụrụ na asị na ikpe ahụ
ga-ekwe omume ọ bụrụ na asị na ikwa ibiro
ọ bụrụ na asị na ikpe ahụ ebighị ọ nwere ihe mere ni nwoji dịla ya agaghị ekpe na ya kebe n'ihi like Dele kwuru oge a ihe niile ka APC ji plega politics onye Igbo ọbụla gee ntị ihe m na-ekwu ihe ndị a niile ihe gbasara Nnamdi Kanu if you know that Nnamdi Kanu jụrụ some of the conditionalities e nyere ya kemma ọ na mmadụ ala ma ndị niile nyere minista anyị ma ndị nyere minista so that mmenwe obi ndị Igbo agaghị ijigba obi anyị n'ihi na Maazị Nnamdi Kanu jụrụ kpechiri tee si ihe a na-arịọ ahụ na ka judiciary chọga ụzọ eji nwanyị federal gọọmenti ahụkwa mgbe control these things are make believe onye niile script ejere ka emega ahụ but nwa odeki deje ya ma meje ya ma na-apụ Nnamdi Kanu
akabodo oge ndị Igbo na Voice of the People 90.3 FM ka ihe bụ masị abịara gị Maazị Tony Mbata ịbụ onye nna nwa gị erugo odego wayek amaka m na o nwere ike o dere jambụ ịnụgo ka ya bụ okwe siri gbaa enwere otu akwụkwọ m gụrụ mgbe m nọ n'afọ nke mbụ m na mahadum okwu agbaala ọkammụta ịnọ nwa dike edere ya kama ọ lala mmụọ okwu agbaala ọ bụ ihe na-eme na mahadum n'oge enwere otu okwe gbara nị rizọtụ pụtara onye ukwu na onye nta kedu ihe gbara nị ka anyị jee hụ n'ụbọchị onye ahụ ka jambụ si anyị na ya bụ okwu agbaala 1.9 million ụmụafọ ala anyị dere ya bụ ule mana ihe karịrị 1.9 million dere ya bụ ule UTME mana ihe karịrị 1.5 million enweghị ka
from Senegal, from Gambia, from heaven knows where, from Niger, from Chad, from northern Cameroons. But they are in Nigeria, killing people. After killing us, they will not turn around and tell us to absorb them into our communities. That is why anybody, any Igwe, any PG, any greedy, avaricious fool, stupid enough to give any of our land to Fulani Janjaweed, you are finished. There was a man in Enugu that tried the same nonsense. Go and ask him where he is today. We take no prisoners. You see, the land of Biafra must be defended at all cost. At all cost. It is the land of God, given to his children for their eternal habitation. We may have failed in the past to recognize this very fact, but now that this generation has come, there is nothing anybody can do to stop us from restoring the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth in the land of Biafra, without apologies to anybody. I understand that the Sarikin Fulani of Lagos went to see the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria in Lagos a few days ago. And according to the message, or should I say information coming out of the U.S. mission, they said is to foster cohabitation and unity, that diversity is strength. And I want to lay that particular nonsensical narrative to bed tonight before I continue any further. Anybody telling you about strength in diversity, that person is a liar and a deceiver. And the U.S. ambassador is a liar and a deceiver. One thing they don't teach we Africans is this. No country exists on a foundation of multiculturalism. There is nowhere in the world. Listen to me very carefully. All this nonsense, even the crap that Coca was coming up with, telling you about diversity is our strength and all that rubbish. Allow me to repeat, there is no country on this earth that survives on a foundation or a bedrock of multiculturalism. It doesn't exist. That is why multiculturalism in Africa is dead on arrival. It can never work. Because we are tribal beasts by nature. We are tribal by nature. That is why we travel from wherever we are during New Year's, during Christmas, during Easter, during New Year Festival to go back home where we come from. Because that is where we identify with. Now, let me ask the U.S. ambassador a very simple question. Is United States of America a multicultural society? US, that was created and built by Western Europeans. US was created, should I say, created by God, of course, built by Western Europeans, mostly English people that was fed up with the way of life of the English monarchy. They went to America on Mary Rose. I want to ask the US ambassador, I want to teach Africans what they don't know this evening. There is no country that functions on this multi-ethnic rubbish. Nowhere in the world, not even the USA, that was created by people who are not indigenous to America. The owners of the soil of America are Native American Indians. That is a fact of life. God gave America to Western Europe to develop and gave them a special grace to be the beacon and the light and the conscience of the world. Because God knew that if he had left all these wonderful people in Europe, they would become contaminated. He removed them from Europe, sent them to America, built a wonderful nation as a shining light and a beacon for the whole world to look up to. Even that America that was built from scratch by people who are not indigenous to the land is not multicultural. Why am I saying this? America was founded on the principles of Judeo-Christian, Greco-Roman, democratic value systems. I repeat, America is not multicultural. They accommodate other races and other nations. Yes, they can accommodate you. But where you're coming into, the bedrock, the foundation of America is based on Judeo-Christian principles, Greco-Roman political ideology, which is republicanism. America is not multicultural. America is Western Europe. The value systems of Western Europe, Judeo-Christian, Greco-Roman, Republican governance. Had America been a multicultural society, they would have space for Sharia. I'm now addressing the US ambassador to try to tell them to stop deceiving people. We are educated, we went to school for a reason. We're enlightened and we have our brain intact. There is no country on this earth that runs on this wishy-washy multiculturalism. It doesn't happen. What you have are established order and value systems upon which various cultures can now coexist. If you go to America, you coexist under the provisions of the United States Constitution. And the US Constitution is a Christian constitution, not Islam. America is not multicultural, but under that bedrock of liberty and egalitarianism, you allow other cultures to come in. But first of all, they must swear allegiance to or take an oath to uphold the Constitution of the USA. That is something that the US ambassador never told the Janjaweed that went to visit her. The same way that Nigeria cannot function as a viable entity. Wole Soyinka knows what I'm talking about. I'm even sure somebody who claims he's learned, as Bishop Coker is, understands what I'm talking about. No country on this earth. The value system of the State of Israel is based on Judaic principles. The value system of Russia is entirely theirs, it's based on theirs. It's the Russian way of doing things from times of the Tsar. If you go to Saudi Arabia, it is essentially a Sharia Islamic state. You can live there, no problem. You can build your churches if you want. I think they've not started to allow churches to be built. But it is never a multicultural society. Japan is not a multicultural society. China is not. They can accommodate you, but that doesn't mean they are This is the type of nonsense they feed Africans. And we fall for that very gimmick of multiculturalism. At the end of the day, you end up with a useless contraption like Nigeria. You don't have any value system that anybody anywhere can define. If I talk about the USA, I can talk about hamburger in the USA. We can talk about, what else do they have in the USA? Hamburger, you can talk about, what's it called? What are the traditional dishes? Apple pie and all the rest of it. You can say that these are American dishes.
If you go to the UK, you can talk about maybe mashed potato and bangers and mash, which is sausage and mashed potato, as their national meal. That's understandable. But I ask you, if you come to Nigeria, what is the national dish of Nigeria? Does a Fulani Janjaweed eat ofe egusi, where we come from? Does an Igbo man eat a wedu soup? The answer is no. So on what basis is all this so-called multicultural foundation going to be laid upon? On what? We are not one people. We may be black, we may be Africans, but we're not one people. Not even one religion. If Britain cannot stay in an EU that is entirely Christian, EU is entirely Christian. Britain left. Nigeria, you don't know if Nigeria is Christian or in fact is Islamic. So for me to accept the multiculturalism being preached by the US ambassador, I have to embrace Islam as my religion. That's what it means. And some of you get taken in by all this rubbish. And I feel sorry for you. Yeah, sometimes when I say this, I'm being very arrogant. If you are educated, you will understand that no nation is multicultural. They allow other cultures to come in. It doesn't mean they're multicultural. They have a viable space where multicultural ideas or identities can thrive. But the foundation has to be monolithic. It has to be one dominant value system and ideology. That's how it is all over the world. Don't let anybody fool you otherwise. That is the same reason why you have this anomaly. In a so-called republic, you have royal fathers in a republic. Because you are trying to shuffle multiculturalism. You're trying to marry the feudal system of the North, the monarchical system of the West, and the Republican system in the East, to marry them into one. And what you have is entirely rubbish, and that is why Nigeria can never work. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Competing value systems. Nobody wants their own value system to be subsumed under another person's value system. This is something that the US ambassador never told you. But here I am telling you today. Because if you come here, you become educated. If you come here, you become enlightened. If you come here, you stop being a zoo animal, you become a human being. That is why we are the largest and, of course, the most consistent broadcasting platform insofar as Africa is concerned, right across the world. Millions listen to us because they know we preach the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. That is why this very day, because you are in one Nigeria, in multiculturalism, the army will come to Olo to defend Fulani Janjaweed living in our forests. We went to Olo to defend our people. They came, they arrested the clerics. Men of God, they arrested all of them. How many times have you heard that imams were being arrested in the north? Or that villages were being invaded in the north and imams being arrested? Only in Biafra land. And this is your multiculturalism. This is a place where you want all of us to stay, somehow to pretend that all is well when we know that it is not. In that same Nigeria is where Fulani headsmen openly boast about conquest. Benue State is one. That is why I feel sorry for the idiots talking rubbish from Benue. They came and they made the same bold claim on Edo State. And I quote, "We will kill all policemen and take over Edo State." Vanguard publication of January 23, 2021, this year. Only 2 months ago. Nothing happened to them. Only the Fulanis can lay claim to land that doesn't belong to them and nobody will say anything.